before we get into your newest album, let's talk about, of course, like your history with music. Like how did that begin? Like your uprising, how did that
Yeah,
start?
yeah. So, really the catalyst, the thing that allowed me to get going was there was a radio station where I was in school. You're in school, right? Yeah. So, I was like your age, and the local radio station had this unsigned talent competition where the artists that won were given money to record an album, like $17,000 or something like that to record an album. And this was 2005. So the biggest barrier really for an independent artist was like being able to get into the studio because this wasn't quite the laptop recording era yet. You really had to get into a studio and stuff. And so I was fortunate enough to win that competition and finish my first album um, when I think I was in my third or fourth year. You guys would call it senior year, I guess. And so that allowed me to kind of get going and get out there and send the album out to different you know magazines and websites and blogs and that kind of thing, and then also play some shows. So that was the one that allowed me to just participate in music and get started. And then I got signed to a small label here for my second album, and then that one allowed me to take it to another level and build an audience nationally and make videos, that kind of thing.
Mm. And the genre you do is hip hop, but in a way, does it define your music? Like, is it a different type of hip hop than just like regular hip hop, if that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah. What I would say is what I do is pretty traditional hip hop, pretty classic hip hop, but also in the classic hip hop way, I try to incorporate my own influences and make sure it's a little bit unique to me. I really uh subscribe to those old school hip hop values of you should be unique. And so what I do is it's traditional in the sense that, it's beats and rhymes. I care a lot about lyricism. I care a lot about kind of the fundamentals of hip hop in terms of that sampled, chopped up sound, and making sure it's got that